Hello friends, welcome to another video on Essential Life Skills with me, Richa. Today we are going to talk about a topic which interests every single person living on this planet. Well, you may be belonging to any age group, any caste, creed, religion, or belonging to any particular political party. This is something that all of us strive for, all of us work for, and that is to become wealthy. So today my topic of discussion with all of you is going to be on how to become wealthy. Well friends, for a long time I occasionally used to feel very envious and jealous of people who are rich and wealthy. Not because of their wealth, but because of their dedication and determination to do all the right things to get all that wealth and in some cases even retire early. Well, becoming wealthy and rich does not happen overnight. It is not something which happens by accident. Becoming rich and wealthy takes a lot of effort. You need to have a long-term vision and you need to have some serious willpower. Becoming wealthy means you need to be, or you rather got to be able to sacrifice your present needs for the wants of the future. And you also need to develop certain good habits to win. So today in this video tutorial, we will talk about how to become wealthy and 5 principles that wealthy people swear by. So keep watching on how to become wealthy. So friends, principle number 1 in order to become wealthy is change the way you think about money. Well, yes, that's very true that rich people think abundance and poor people think lack. You might have heard this saying in English, man becomes what he thinketh. In a right sense or in a true sense, it means that if you think abundant money, abundance of wealth, you will get all that wealth. But if you think in terms of lack of wealth, you will never be wealthy. A lot of people always have a habit of cribbing and complaining, I am broke, I don't have any money, etc. etc. Well, if you have heard the conversation of rich people, they will never ever talk in such a loose manner about money. You need to think that you have a lot of money because you can fool your mind to think you have a lot of money and being wealthy. So rich people think abundance and poor people think lack, and that's the principle number 1, change the way you think about money. Well friends, the second tip in order to become wealthy is rich people look at opportunities, or rather think opportunities, and poor people always think of problems. I'm going to share a very interesting example with you over here. A teacher was once called in a class full of 100 people, and out of that, all those 100 people, 80 people were failures. And she was requested by the principal to teach them in order to really make them come up to a particular standard and pass the examination. The teacher really spent a lot of time and effort in teaching these people, and when the day of the exam came, 80% of the people failed and only 20% passed. The teacher was really surprised, thinking, I put in a lot of effort to teach these people, and why have they become, why have they failed the examination? Another teacher was called, and you know what this teacher did? The second teacher, or the new teacher who came in, she looked at this as an opportunity to make more money, to really bring positivity in those people who had failed. So that's my tip number 2, or principle number 2. In order to become wealthy, think opportunities, don't think of problems. Well friends, principle number 3 in order to become wealthy is try and be mindful of your association or your network of friends and associations. Rich people are always mindful of the people they interact with, where poor people do not really care about whom they interact with. It's very interesting to know this. Your network decides your net worth. Well, this is a very important example which John Kennedy's wife said in one of the interviews, that when she was broke, a day when she was really broke, she went to the most expensive restaurant in the city, ordered a bottle of water, and what did she do? She eavesdropped on all the conversation of wealthy people happening around her. She tried to understand what do wealthy people talk about, and that is important to understand. When you associate yourself with people who are rich and wealthy, you think in terms of what they think. So your perspective towards life and money really changes when you try and associate and network and interact with people who are rich and wealthy. Poor people, when they interact with people who are like them, middle class, lower middle class, and they're full of excuses, problems, they don't really look at the bigger picture in life. Whereas the rich people, they talk in a very different manner. So if you want to be somebody who's rich and wealthy, start getting associated with people who are rich and wealthy, and in turn you will see yourself becoming wealthy. Friends, the fourth principle in order to become wealthy is rich people make money work for money, whereas poor people work for money. Well, all of us have heard this, or rather believe in this particular saying, that whenever we were young, and from the time we were young to getting old, our parents wanted us to, get good grades, study hard, get into the best school, get into a good, secure, well-paying job, and then save enough and retire early. Well, this is something that I'm going to question. Please do not get me wrong. It is good if you are happy and satisfied in life. But if you want more in life, and if you're really greedy for really achieving your dreams and being successful and rich and wealthy, this is bullshit. What we really want to understand is, it's important to understand you can get only so much as you want for yourself. But if you do not know what you're really getting at, meaning you keep working hard day in and day night, 24 hours in a day, you really exert yourself physically, mentally, and ultimately what happens? You can only get as much as you have worked hard for. Rich people play smart, and what they do is they really extend themselves to invest in the right kind of assets, the right kind of businesses, and really make money work for their own money. And that's the way to grow and become rich and wealthy. If you really want to become wealthy, you need to start making money work for money. Play smart and do not work only hard. That's the fourth principle in order to become wealthy. Friends, my fifth and last principle in order to become wealthy is don't worry. Well, it's as simple as that. Do not worry about money all the time. Do not worry about becoming rich. Do not worry about becoming wealthy. Well, simply put, the more you worry about being wealthy, the more you will not be wealthy. The more you run after something, the more that thing runs away from you. Since it's very important to understand, just learn how to relax about money. Don't worry too much. Don't have anxiety, stress about money. Rich people never think about money, and that's what makes them rich. They are not hardwired, pressed for only thinking about money all the time. Poor people always think about money day in and day out. They always think of ways and avenues to earn more money, to get wealthy and rich. If you truly want to be rich and wealthy, just stop thinking about money. Don't worry, everything will happen for the best. So stop worrying too much. Friends, these were my 5 principles which I have just shared with you on how to become wealthy. Let's do a quick recap on what makes somebody rich or wealthy. Tip number 1, or principle number 1, in order to be rich, you have to think abundance. Change rather your way of thinking about money. Don't think lack, think abundance. Principle number 2, in order to become wealthy, is you need to have a lot of self-confidence in yourself, believe in yourself, do not worry about money. The third principle in order to become wealthy is you need to be mindful of your association and network. So always network and interact with wealthy people if you want to be wealthy. The next principle, or the fourth principle in order to become wealthy, is you are responsible for where you are in your life. So always learn how to accept challenges rather than crib and exercise any kind of excuse regarding those problems. Always think in opportunities rather than a problem. The fifth principle in order to become wealthy is start learning how to say no to things which are beyond your scope of work. Always say positive things to yourself and good things to yourself, and that is something that will help you to become very, very wealthy and rich in life. So friends, these were my 5 principles in order to become wealthy. Well, I do hope after this video that you're watching right now, you will be on your path to becoming rich and wealthy. Good luck to you. Thank you for watching us.